Good evening and welcome to our newsroom English News edition. Thank you, dear viewers, and this is the major stories. Concerning the cooperation between Djibouti and China, the President of the Republic made an official visit to the Republic of China in Beijing. And in Canada, Canada expects a flux of asylum seekers fleeing the United States. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Mergele, left today, Wednesday, the country for Beijing, the Chinese capital, where, at the invitation of his counterpart Xi Jinping, he will carry out from November 22 to 25 an official visit to this country. With this trip to China, President Gele becomes the first African or Arab head of state invited to an official visit to China following the re-election of President Xi Jinping. The relations of friendship and cooperation between the two countries and the two peoples, as well as the ways and means to promote and develop them further, will be at the heart of the President Gele's visit to China. The continuation and strengthening of the strategic partnership that the two countries also maintain in almost all economic sectors will be discussed at length. During this official visit to China, the President of the Republic will hold talks with the highest political authorities in this country, including President Xi Jinping. He will also meet with key officials of the head of economic institutions in this country. Meetings are also planned, notably in Shenzhen, one of the main economic megacities of China, with the leaders of the largest industrial and financial groups. An important delegation, including, among others, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mohammed Ali Yusuf, the Minister for Presidency in charge of investment, Ali Gela Al-Bakr, and the Minister of Health, Jamal Mioki, accompanies the President of the Republic as part of this official visit to China. The President of the Authority of Ports and Free Zones of Djibouti, Al-Bakr Omar Hadi, is also part of this delegation accompanying the President of the Republic in China. The President of the National Assembly, Muhammad Ali Humma, today received a farewell visit from the Japanese ambassador to Djibouti, Mr. Tatsuo Abe, who is completing his term of office and will soon be leaving the country. During their meeting, the two personalities discussed bilateral relations in recent years, as well as the ways and means to strengthen and consolidate parliamentary cooperation. Ambassador Tatsuo Abe reassured that the two countries will continue to strengthen their cooperation that has already materialized in various sectors such as education, vocational training, health, energy, road development, and the transportation sector. The President of the National Assembly, for his part, thanked his host of this visit of friendship and the support of Japan to associations by creating the women's empowerment centers in Tajora and Obok. And finally, the head of National Assembly wished every success in his subsequent missions and asked him to remain the ambassador of Djibouti. The Minister of Defense in charge of relations with the Parliament, Ali Hassan Bahdon, also received in his cabinet the Ambassador of Japan, Tatsuo Abe, accompanied by Defense Attaché at the Embassy of Japan, the Captain of Frigate Kakuiri Kubo. In addition to the Minister of Defense, took part in this meeting from Djibouti side, Colonel Yusuf Kayat Gili, Military Technical Advisor to the Minister of Defense. The visit of the Ambassador of Japan is part of his farewell visits to the authorities of the country. The discussions between the minister and his host focused on military cooperation between our two forces, and particularly in terms of training in field of natural disaster management. Both sides expressed their satisfaction with the mutual support provided by our defense and security forces and the Japan Self-Defense Forces based in Djibouti. The Minister of Labour in charge of the reform of the administration, Hassan Idris Samire, participated in a sub-regional forum for the exchange of experience of 5 East African countries for the promotion of decent work, which took place in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia from 24 November. The Minister was accompanied by Mrs. Ikrama Wali, Director of Employment and Social Security, and Mr. Yahya Wali, Technical Advisor to the Minister of Labour. The labor ministers of the 5 countries also took the sub-regional forum. The sub-regional forum for the sharing of experience of the 5 East African countries, namely Djibouti, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, was organized by the ILO office in Addis Ababa. The purpose of the forum was to enable participants to share experiences between countries and learn from the key achievements and challenges of promoting decent work. Djibouti Town Hall, in collaboration with the National Office of Water and Sanitation, International Association of French-speaking cities halls, and the French Development Agency, organized this morning at the People's Palace a sensitization workshop for capacity building. They contracted central actors and elected representatives on the issue of water and sanitation. This workshop took place in the presence of the Mayor of Djibouti City, Fatouma Awal Osman, the advisor of the French Development Agency, director of the AFD, and the representative of the President of the IMF, and many others. The main objective of this sensitization workshop is to improve governance in the water and sanitation sector. Continuing with the national news, the Ministry of Environment, in close collaboration with UNDP, organized this morning at the People's Palace a workshop for capacity building on microfinance and climate change. This workshop has been dissolved in the presence of Secretary General of the Ministry of Habitat, Dini Abdullah Omar, and the Secretary General of the Secretary of State for Social Affairs, Farah Ali Ahmed, Director of the Environment and Sustainable Development, Hussein Rirash, among others. In addition to the officials, this workshop seen the participation of different responsible for different branch of CPEC of the region of Interior. The objective of this workshop was to combine capacity building on microfinance and climate change in the context of climate change adaptation, with a single aim to rural population in order to offer them adequate financing and strengthening their lifestyle in the face of climate change. Yesterday in the afternoon, a delegation of senior officials of the State Secretary for Youth and Sports, in this case Abshir Hassan Ali, Chief Executives of Department of Sports, the Director of Regions in charge of the Community Center Abdi Osman, and other officials traveled to Arta. The senior officials of State Secretary for Youth and Sports, accompanied by the prefect of the Arta region, have carried out an evaluation of the route of the Arta hike. The latter met with local authorities and security forces for an inventory of fixtures and final development in this highly symbolic march dedicated to peace. The prefect of the eponymous region of Arta and the director of regions in charge of the community centers inspected the itinerary chosen by the organizers of this 11th edition, where they saw firsthand the level of the safety and offered to the hikers. The launch of the training program for blind and visually impaired persons, organized by the Presidency of the Republic, opened this morning from Wednesday, November 22 at the Hassan Goulet Stadium. This program will continue until December 6. This program is an initiative of the President of the Republic, is a duty of solidarity, that is a pillar of social development. Blind, visual impaired people have the right and the duty of every citizen to improve their living conditions. Basic training is necessary, such as the use of cane to move freely and properly in the main arteries. Several associations of the blind and visually impaired persons participated in this training from disadvantaged backgrounds. This program is chaired by the Secretary General of the Presidency, Mohammed Abdullahi Wais. Several Secretaries General and many parliamentarians participated in the launch of the program. This program will be animated throughout the week by two experts, Duali Muhammad and Idris Muhammad, who are responsible for people with special needs. Also present were the Director of the Presidential Cabinet, Mohammed Siddiq, the Chief of Staff of President Mohammed Abdul Qadir, and Technical Advisor to the President, Ali Dato. The Djiboutian Agro-Post Association DAPA organized this morning at the Palace of the People a congress chaired by Mr. Tahir Ibrahim Isa, President of the association. A congress attended by 24 representatives from agro-postal cooperatives in the country. It should be evoked that this association, which includes nearly 350 smallholders among its members, is affiliated to the East Africa Farmer Federation. On the agenda of this congress was a presentation of the technical and financial results of the last 4 years, and among other things, the association has allowed the extension of 30 farmers in the locality of Antar, or the introduction of Alpine dairy goods imported from Kenya. These achievements of the association were made with the close collaboration of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. In view of the results of DAPA, the members of the association have increased considerably in the last 4 years. President Tahir Ibrahim Isa, head of the association for 11 years, has allowed DAPA to gain a wealth of experience, particularly in the field of training of its members. And thus, thanks to these efforts, the farmers who are members of the association have been been able to acquire a new farming and farming techniques, as well as in the area of financial and administrative management. In the morning of Friday in the municipality of Belbela, more precisely in Hayable, the women and men, young and old, proceeded to the cleaning of the streets and sidewalks of Hayable neighborhood. In doing so, both have benefited from the support of the Djibouti Highway Company because the management of the OFD has made available logistical means and tools, a quality urban environment in the popular and upscale neighborhoods of the capital. That was the meaning of the garbage collection operations in the Hayable district. In this search notice, the family of Abdul Shakur and Fatuma Osman, who resides in Belbela, seek their son Muhammad Amin Abdul Shakur at the age of 5 to 6 years old. For all information on this issue, please contact these numbers, who are 7782 3611 or 7761 2483. On the international scene now, Canada said on Tuesday, November 21, it is ready to deal with an influx of asylum seekers after Washington announced it will soon end protection granted to Haitians following a deadly 2010 earthquake. Some 59,000 Haitian immigrants in the United States will lose their temporary protected status in 18 months. The U.S. announced on Monday opening the door for their potential repatriation to their desperately poor home country. The U.S. government has also ended a TPS program for 5,300 Nicaraguan immigrants effective January 2019, while tens of thousands of Hondurans had their stay extended until July. A decision on the status of some 200,000 people from El Salvador, who are believed to be the target group of TPS recipients by nationality, expected in January. The United States had welcomed nationals from these Latin American countries, which were hit hard by Hurricane Mitch in 1998. Over the summer, a flood of asylum seekers, mostly Haitian nationals, avoided checkpoints and walked across the border from the United States into Canada. Well, that's all for this news. Thank you for joining us on RTD and have a good night.